Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Small Town Big Life podcast, coming at you from the tool shed behind Grace Fellowship Church in Avis, Pennsylvania. Church leader and intern, the mighty Dyneshia Tice, is with us today with a really interesting topic. She had discussed coming on and us having a conversation about food conspiracies, fast food conspiracies, to which Jackie and I both responded, what?
That is accurate.
Please explain. So this ought to be pretty fun. I think I have an idea. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are y'all?
Good.
Love that. Yeah, so food conspiracy theories are essentially just like things you hear about fast food and essentially why you should stop eating there. So most fast food places actually have their own like conspiracy theories, like McDonald's and Taco Bell and all of that stuff. So it's just like crazy things that happen that you're like, wait a minute, like, is that true? Because if so, like, they need to be shut down kind of thing. So that's food conspiracy theory, just like crazy stuff, and even just crazy stuff that happens at different fast food establishments that are like, what?
So do you remember, like, a couple of years back when everyone was going on the internet ragging on McDonald's about their
pink slime
McRib
chicken nugget?
No, hang on a second.
Yeah, the McRib.
The McRib. So then they put kiosks up everywhere and a documentary with cameras following the entire process because McDonald's was mad. They're like, no. That's not true. And they had cameras go and follow the process, and they put us, people walking down the street could go up and push a button and watch a video of the whole thing if they wanted.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. My wife is educated in health and wellness and all that kind of stuff. And so, you know, when she sees me getting excited about the McRib, she wants to crawl out of her skin, and so
yeah. Well, Taylor's a big fan of the McRib. He's like, oh, I love McRibs. Not gonna lie, I've never had one.
Right.
Second of all, I'm not gonna eat one. Like I grew up with my dad cooking ribs on the grill, actual ribs, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, but that like just the way it's like shaped, it's trying too hard and failing so much. Like I'm not about to eat that.
You can't go into it expecting it to be a rib.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's a whole different. It's like, I remember one time I had this conversation with my mom. I got a Little Caesars pizza, and my mom is like, she's not with us anymore, but she was the person most likely to embarrass you in a restaurant and complain about something. And she asked me one time, she said, is that good pizza? And I said, yeah, for $5. And she goes, what? And I said, for $5. And she goes, I don't understand that. Something's either good or it's not good. And I said, wait, I go, Mom, you have a certain expectation when you spend $5.
And all of that
I go,
stuff.
for $5, it's one of the best pizzas on the planet. And she goes, I don't get that. I either like something or I don't like something, and I had to try to. And so that's the McRib thing too. I don't expect award-winning. I mean, it's not ribs. It's a sandwich. It's like when I eat bologna, I'm not expecting it to really taste like beef and pork.
Okay, but who eats bologna?
A lot of people eat bologna.
I eat bologna.
I will never. No,
it's not.
You will not catch me with a slice of bologna in this palate.
No, it's hardly ever. Hardly ever. It's usually, maybe bologna, a slice of cheese, and some lettuce.
What is bologna? What's in there?
Yummy goodness.
No, not factual.
Yes.
No.
That is factual. It says right on the pack.
Yeah. Gross. No, that's like Spam. Like, what's in Spam?
Good, yummy goodness.
No. Taylor also likes Spam and McRib. There seems to be a theme
here. I eat Spam
here.
about once every 2 years. I think, I got it. And then I'm like, well, now I know why I don't eat it all the time.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, I understand. Like, I know in like Hawaiian culture, like Spam, that's a thing, and they eat it, and that's
started during the war.
Yeah, and that's great. You do it, but like, I'm okay. McRib, I'm okay. Ain't nobody got time for that.
So,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
All right. So, but you're talking about fast food conspiracies. Like,
yes.
I'm picturing somebody like with a burglar mask and hiding and like putting poisons and so. What are you talking about? Because you mentioned something about some kind of slurry.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to start talking about the McDonald's pink slime. That there was this video going around that people were claiming that McDonald's McDonald's chicken nuggets were made out of this like pink slime that comes shooting out of this tube, and that's what they are. Because you look at McDonald's chicken nuggets, they're all kind of like shaped, you know, like they have the kind of cookie cutter shape, but they're specific to McDonald's. Like McDonald's has the boot nugget and the round one and the
and I didn't know that until I watched a documentary.
Yeah, and kind of the square one. Like those
like,
are
that's a shape?
Yep, those are the shapes of the McDonald's chicken nuggets. So I remember like on Facebook, I mean, this is when I was like younger. Like I'm not that old, but just on Facebook, everybody's like, ew, don't eat McDonald's chicken nuggets. But then they like debunked it. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is completely true, but I'm pretty sure Tyson is the one who supplies the meat for McDonald's chicken nuggets.
It's funny because their nuggets are shaped the same.
Yeah.
Very, very similar.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure, and then they did the same thing that they did with the McRib. Maybe not necessarily like.
So do you eat nugget? Do you eat chicken nugget?
Oh, yes, I will eat the chicken nugget.
So
McDonald's chicken nuggets slap.
So what sauce?
So it kind of depends. I usually, their ranch kind of makes me nauseous.
I think this is funny because I thought you were going to go in here and badmouth food stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I eat them.
Oh yeah, well because
Get in my belly.
actually made a pink slime. Like they debunked. They did the whole video, and it's like legitimate chicken.
But it is legitimate chicken, but they're genetically altered chickens.
Super chickens.
Yeah, like so instead
Whatever.
of, a chicken having 2 breasts, it has 6.
What? See, I don't know about all that.
I don't eat. Okay, do you eat chicken nuggets?
Very rarely.
Okay,
What?
so
Jackie
you
Brown.
do eat them. What sauce?
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour.
From
me too.
McDonald's, are we
crack
talking like
sauce.
specifically from McDonald's?
Yeah, sweet and sour is
So
crack.
yeah, the ranch makes me kind of nauseous. I don't know why, but I'll eat it still. Like I'll just like fight through it. It's fine. But I do barbecue.
Yeah.
The barbecues or honey. Did you know?
Yeah, just straight honey.
Yeah, just like honey.
Yeah.
But that's the only place I do. Like I won't go like get chicken like Dino chicken nuggets from the store and then like get out the honey and dip them at home. Like it has to be a McDonald's chicken nugget with McDonald's honey. But I don't mind sweet and sour. Like it's okay, but it's not like my go-to.
You're talking so slow. I can barely. No, I'm kidding.
Oh. I'm excited to talk about food.
I know. I was just telling Jackie before we started. I said I'm so hungry, and she goes, "Well, we're going to probably talk about gross stuff, so you won't be." And I go, "That doesn't affect me." So I have rules too for different places. Like when I get McDonald's fries, no ketchup. But if I get fries that are thick somewhere,
Like a steak fry.
Yeah.
Well, no, like even like Wendy's. I mean, I get ketchup with that.
Frosty. You frosty that. Frosty the fry.
I did that when I was young, and it just it kind of ran its course.
What?
What? Yeah.
My heart. Yet you have to frosty the fry.
No. The first time I saw my little brother do that when we were kids, and I went gross, and then I tried it and went, that's pretty good. And then I did it a few times. I'm like, no, I'll go back to my old routine. But I McDonald's fries, and the thing is, you're too young to know this. And I know, but when Jackie and I were young, when we were kids, everything was cooked, awful, and it tasted way better.
Yeah.
Everything,
Really?
fast food was like way better than it is now because now they come in, they got all these certain fats and trans fats and things they can and can't use. So they basically sucked all the goodness out of it. But kids now that are growing up with it, it's the first thing they had. So they still. Ever. But if you could go back, I don't know, 30 years or more, and try it. It was, and I know that sounds like something an old person would say, but it's true.
It's like, have you ever actually had something cooked in lard?
No.
Okay.
I've seen like lard. Like people have like a tub of lard.
Yeah. But
I feel like I may have. My best friend Sarah, her mom used to cook with like lard because they used to, they did all that stuff.
it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
So, yeah. So
I'm a little sketched out by just like the tub of it sitting around like, that's our lard.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
When we were kids, we didn't have the sunflower oil and the safe
there was no
peanut
health
oil.
there was no health conscious stuff.
It was whatever they found.
Yeah, taste it, and if it tastes good, eat it.
Yeah.
And they made everything yummy, and it was.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
So okay, so now, are you familiar with White Castle?
I have that on my list. I've been there one time.
So they are slurry. They are buckets of slurry, and they put them in, but they're made from beef. They're made from meat, and they don't hide it. I mean, there's a show that shows how they do it, but I love them, and they don't.
What?
Oh my gosh, I love White Castles.
Worst fast food, White Castle.
No, and
I had it one time, and I was even a kid, so like kids like aren't too picky. Like, oh, fast food, like this is what, especially because my family, we didn't go out to fast food often. My mom's like, we got stuff at home, and I'm like, but McDonald's. And I went and I tried White Castle. I went and visited Chicago, and as a child, I was like, this is nasty. Like, there's not enough ketchup that I could put on this thing for me to even get it down. And I'm hungry.
Well, I like them. But I don't eat them that often. I don't even know if they're all. I didn't think they were here.
They're not.
They're in the freezer aisle.
Yeah,
You can get them in the freezer aisle.
No.
See,
That's
I don't like onions that much,
Right.
so that's
And they
why
put
I
on
don't
some.
like White.
Oh, I love
'cause they're
onions, but I
smushed
can't do
into
White
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do White Castle.
If you're talking about those, that freezer, that is not a good representation of the restaurant at all. And my wife bought those for me because she knows how much I like White Castles. This was just a couple of months ago. And, she thought she was being considerate because she knows I like them. So I tried them and they were terrible. And they're not even close to what they serve in the restaurant. I'm like, how dare they put these things out? And
How dare you, White Castle, market yourself so poorly.
Yeah, I guess that's their way of saying, well, we can't build a restaurant there, but we can stick these things in the freezer and make a few bucks, I guess. I don't know. Get some of that slurry out. And because there's a lot of stuff. White Castle was open 24 hours. So when the bars closed, guess where everybody went?
White Castle.
Yeah, and you would see at night, if you're out coming from work or going somewhere or traveling, you drive by a White Castle, the parking lot is going to be full.
Yeah.
There's more than a few bad ideas running around out there. And I don't know that a belly full of beer and a bag of White Castles is the best idea in the world. So,
All right.
Yeah, that's what they're all saying in the drive-thru.
Yeah. As I say, that I guess around here would be Denny's, but I didn't think Denny's is open that late anymore.
Sheets.
Denny's?
Sheets, dude, slaps. I love Sheets. I spend too much money there. I spent like $30 just on myself.
What's the other place besides Sheets and PA?
Wawa.
Okay, so I
That's
watched
like
the video on PA before I came here, and they said, you're going to be a Sheets
You watched
person or
a video
Or a
in
Wawa.
Pennsylvania?
Before I came, I wanted to research the area before we decided to move here.
Oh, okay.
And we couldn't find any about this area. And I thought, somebody
there
needs to make
ain't much
one.
going
No, there's nothing going. And I thought, well, anyway, but
Yeah,
the
Wawa
Sheets,
is a
the Sheets
Jersey
stuff's
thing.
pretty good. It's a what?
Wawa is like a Jersey Philly thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
because that's mostly where they're at. I mean, when my dad and we would go down to Philly, there's like a Wawa that's like the halfway point. I mean, their food's like kind of good. Like if you're going that way, like on 76, taking the turnpike, like that way.
The only thing I've got from Sheets are the pre-made like pita bread sandwiches, and we got some when we were driving back and forth to PA a few times.
No, you got to get the MTO, the
You
made to
gotta
order
try
stuff.
it.
You gotta
The
go
stuff
to
that they
the
make
kiosk.
for you?
Yeah.
Yes, that's where you have to go. The mac and cheese bites, beautiful.
The taco
Really?
salad,
Ooh,
really good.
Yes, I used to get taco salads a whole
Wow,
bunch.
this has been
Also-
under my nose and I didn't know it. Pretty good. They got
it's
good.
actually
I didn't live so
really
close to
good.
one.
They got good stuff. Huh?
Yes. I mean, good.
No,
good Sheets. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Right.
good for Sheets. Like
For $5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those Caesars are good for $5. Yeah. The mac and cheese bites are really good. Also, the Wisconsin cheese bites.
Yeah.
Are really good. You have to get the boom boom sauce though. It's like a specific. It's like a sheet sauce almost. It's like a
Okay.
little spicy.
It's a little spicy.
tangy, but it's really really
It's
good.
a little too spicy for me. I go with the sweet baby Ray's barbecue sauce instead.
See, I get what I get has to be ordered. You can't. They don't sell it here. It's world famous. It's called Montgomery Inn. I'll give you a bottle. If you like Sweet Baby Ray's, which my mom did,
Yeah.
you would like it. It's not a shock to your buds where you go, this is awful. I mean,
No.
anyway.
But it has a little twang.
I'll hook you up with that, and I'll expand on that more later. We kind of brought it up before, but my wife ate all the cheese you gave us. By the way, I did not get one single bite. Anyway, so you kind of breezed through. We did some McDonald's. We did some.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, I just remember
What?
like how I got into food conspiracy theories. So like the Facebook horror videos of like why you shouldn't eat at McDonald's, and then also I remember. So I was in high school when the Obamas were in office, right? So Michelle Obama did that entire thing of like the Cookie Monster is now the Veggie Monster and like portion control and like all this stuff. Like I just saw a TikTok video about it of like, hey, who was around for like this when they changed everything? And so I kind of got trapped in that way in high school when it came to food. But I remember during this period in high school during health, we watched. It was called Super Size Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we watched it in high school, and it was talking about like fast food and like the ban on the super size for McDonald's, and it was just like don't eat fast food, like healthy, like healthier food options or whatever. So I just like remember that, and then like they like pretty much bash McDonald's of like things that they're made out of and like all of this stuff, and like you eat it, you're gonna get fat and die. Essentially, is kind of the message that they were saying in that.
I mean, you have to police yourself, and I know I went to school for film and stuff like that, and I love documentaries. But anytime you watch a film or a documentary, you're being indoctrinated with the filmmaker's viewpoint.
That's right.
And now some people say that doesn't mean they're crooked or they're bad. I mean, people say, well, you're indoctrinated in that school you go to. Well, I pay them to indoctrinate me. I mean, when I go to Ohio Christian University, I pay them to indoctrinate me with their biased beliefs on Christ. I mean, so it's just that what you recognize as truth. And so a lot of these films that are really anti anything. I researched the filmmaker and see what other kind of agendas they have.
Yeah.
And then because sometimes facts sneak out, but sometimes they'll show you all one perspective and not the rest of you got to be careful watching those documentaries on stuff. Now I love documentaries, but I'm not into the heavy-handed stuff. I like more laid back. Like I watch UFO stuff or shark or documentaries on the ocean floor, or I'm not really into the ones where the conspiracy theories, because I'm 54 years old and I've always hated and never believed conspiracy theories, and to this day I bet you I've heard hundreds and not one has come to pass. Not one. And so I'm not talking about fast food though.
Yeah.
Right.
Because what you're talking about I don't think is really a conspiracy theory. I think it's more of a general practice of making food, I would say. So but I am talking about conspiracy theories.
Right,
like when they show, like a lot of people, they show the KFC chickens walking around crippled with 3 arms on these farms, all this stuff. You're like, that footage didn't come from their supplier, but they used it in the documentary to scare people. And you just got to be careful when you watch. Like, I don't know. We had there was a commercial on the Super Bowl a few years back. They wouldn't let them air it because they showed polar bears falling out of the sky because of the climate. And the polar bears population now is higher than it ever was. And they show them floating around on an iceberg, and that's what they do. I'm super sensitive to people trying to fill my head with their opinion because they don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now I'm going off on a witless jag about it's just because when you say supersize me, I've never seen that, but I've seen shows like that. Yeah. And I'm really careful when I watch that stuff about because sometimes I want to believe what someone's saying. Yeah, but then I'm like,
there is a huge amount of shock value in Super Size Me because of what he does.
Yep.
The diet he goes on, he just eats nothing but McDonald's 3 meals a day.
Which is irresponsible.
Exactly.
I mean,
that would be irresponsible for anybody.
Anyway?
Right.
Like, realistically, who's doing that?
Well,
I mean, I know people who eat out fast food a lot, but who's like, I'm only going to eat McDonald's 3 times a day.
They show. Well, what's that guy? I think his name's Travis. Or that show, The Doctors. It's a daytime show.
Yeah.
The main lead guy. I think his name's Travis. Maybe he's a doc. Anyway, I
know who you're talking about.
I kind of trust that guy. And I watched one episode one time for an experiment where he ate McDonald's every day, but he's a health nut. I mean, he only eats really healthy food.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, he's like, oh man, but he wasn't bad mouthing McDonald's. He was like saying, the point he was making was, you're not supposed to eat this stuff every day.
You eat that much fat, much,
every day.
You're going to feel like crap.
Gross.
You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel
yeah, it's like a treat. It's supposed to be, but it's hard for people to police themselves when I don't know. And I'm guilty of it. I mean, I didn't get this felt trim figure from not being, overly indulgent with certain things. Most of my life I was very thin, and then your metabolism says, I'm going to stop now for the next 30 years. At some point, you're like, what happened, man?
It just gives up.
We were friends.
You deserve this.
Yeah.
It just says, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah. I used to, I heard Kevin James said, I used to be able to eat 2 Big Macs and finish out the day like a hummingbird. And now I eat one and I'm like a bear hit with a sedative dart. People are like, sir, you can't sleep in here. This is a McDonald's. And,
Yes.
But there's a time and a place for all of that. Like going to the Bloomsburg Fair. I go to the Bloomsburg, if they have one this year. I go for the food. I mean, you're going for the deep fried Oreos and stuff like that you're only going to eat once a year. And you're going to feel like complete crap afterward. But it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth the 30-minute line. It's worth the $12.
Yeah.
It is.
3 Oreos.
Right? Like, I got to see a bunny.
Yeah.
and a chicken.
I got to see
live
a
in
bunny.
Central
I got to see a
Pennsylvania.
bunny.
Like, I don't see that stuff all the time.
That's Kevin. He won first place for the goat.
Yes.
But I'm going over to the elephant ears now because I'm more interested in elephant ears than shiny goat coat trophies.
Yes.
So yeah,
We love good fair food.
and they the things that they make now. And I remember, I mean, deep fried Coke, deep fried Twinkies,
Butter?
deep
Have you
fried
seen
butter.
fried butter?
Deep fried butter. You never seen that?
Yes, I
Deep
have.
fried
I've seen it.
butter.
I
I've
want to
never
try
tried.
it. I
No,
love
no
try.
way.
I love butter. I put a lot when something calls for butter. I'm putting butter, and
Girl,
it's got to be real butter.
I gotta
Salted
tell you
real butter,
this.
not margarine.
And I have told this to very few people in my entire life.
Oh.
I have dreams that Paula Dean is my grandmother because she just comes walking in my room with some butter. Oh, have some butter, baby. You know, just in the middle of my dream, she just walks on in. Who's been feeding you? You need some butter.
Butter is the fairy sauce of the food world.
Well, yeah.
Anything's not good, put butter.
Get
And
some butter on it.
We
Butter's
are
a
addicted to
condiment.
butter. We are addicted. We got butter, man. We got tub butter.
Are
We
you-
got stick butter. We
Yeah.
got squirt butter.
Do
We
you
got
have-
spray. We got so much butter. We even got a butter called I can't believe it's not butter.
No, I am a
we got-
legit butter. We are a legit butter household stick. Like the
My wife's like non-salted real butter. Now
it's got to be salted.
Well, that's what I always thought that, but then I tried some of that, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good without all
I
the salt.
don't doubt it's good, but I just- gotta
yeah,
have
but
the
I get
salt.
I get the salted butter too. But if it's not there, that non-salted stuff suits me fine. But like on baked potatoes, I'm all butter. All butter. Nothing else. I don't want that sour cream. Get that out of that.
No sour cream?
That belongs on burritos. Yeah, I don't want that on my baked. No, it's okay. It tastes good on a baked potato, but I
Just
need
not,
butter.
not the vibe.
I need about as much butter on the potato as half the size of the potato.
Yes. One baked potato equals half a stick of butter.
yeah,
And
that's
I
about
will
it.
eat all of the
Do you
butter.
eat the skin?
too. Sometimes it depends. It depends on the potato. Like if it's the golden
Yeah.
golden potatoes, I eat the outside. But if it's like I think what are they, like russet potato? They're like brown. They're like darker brown, and the skin's a little bit rougher.
Do you eat
I
skin?
won't.
Usually, yeah.
It's a little too much.
I destroy the whole potato with a knife, like the whole thing, and the skin, everything. Put it in a
it's just
pile
like
with butter. I eat all of it.
mashed potatoes,
I eat it all.
essentially.
No,
at
no,
that
no, no.
point?
Well,
or smashed
no.
potatoes.
Smashed.
Yeah, it would be smashed potatoes.
Michael Myers potatoes. It's. I cut it all up. I cut it all up so I can get the skin. I can get the skin in the
Yeah.
bites, and I get the butter and the salt and
I'm stealing that from now on.
yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna Michael Myers my potatoes.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's great.
it's. So let's get to Taco Bell.
Yes.
What about because Jackie and I are just basically your
So-
audience today. So
Okay, so Nick, who's not here, he knows how much I love Taco Bell now.
but he was responsible and called ahead of time to let us know he wasn't coming.
Yeah, no.
So anyway,
But he knows how much I love Taco Bell. I had like a taco themed bachelorette party. I got over $200.
wait.
Yeah.
You're not going to glaze over that. What
Yeah,
did you just
back
say?
that up.
A taco themed bachelorette party.
Okay, I don't even.
What?
Can I get married again so I can do that?
I had like a whole taco bar.
I think you
got
can do.
sombrero
You can do a
with
wedding anniversary like that.
I got
Sweet.
a sombrero with the veil on it, and there was like maracas. Dude, yeah, it was literally the best thing ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Wow, that's-
I love tacos. Reyes Teca, literally the best place ever. It's kind of upsetting how close I live to it and how often I get it. Anyway, Taco Bell, Nick, we're back.
Okay.
He sends me these like videos of like the tube meat, like the beef that Taco Bell has, and he's like, see, like he just kind of like nitpicks all the time because I've seen those videos and I don't care. I love Taco Bell so much. When I was in college, there was 2 Taco Bells like 5 minutes away from me, and it was a whole issue. It was a part like my bank account hurt. Like I'm scrounging for change.
For Taco Bell.
For Taco Bell.
Right.
And then I get here, and the closest Taco Bell's in Williamsport, and with me living in Lock Haven, that's like a 40-minute drive. Like that doesn't work. But I work in Williamsport, so I don't get it as often. But I see the tube meat, and they're like, oh, it's not real meat. Honestly, I don't care what you think about Taco Bell because I'm still gonna eat it. I think
Yeah.
that is my favorite fast food restaurant ever.
I mean, it's like $1 for a taco. It's not.
$1.39. And I just want to camp on this for a second because it makes me mad. I went to school in Indiana. Their dollar menu was legitimately $1. The dollar menu here is $1.39. I'm sorry, but like, what is this 39 cents? What is that going to? Because why is it different out here, but the dollar menu isn't actually $1?
I'm outraged.
I was actually mad.
We're gonna protest.
Mad about it.
We should protest.
I'm sending a strongly worded email.
No, but my point was, I mean, it's $1 for a taco. It's not going to be Wagyu beef,
Yeah, exactly.
Black Angus.
Like grass-fed,
Prime
organic.
rib.
That's
like,
right.
All of this.
See, there's no. When being a kid growing up in Ohio, we had two places. One was called Zantigo, and one was Taco Bell. And I remember seeing the news one time. They said a major fast food Mexican place is going to close down. I thought, thank goodness Taco Bell's finally going, because Zantigo was like, if you like Taco Bell, Zantigo was phenomenal. And it was just
authentic.
It was just assumed. Nope. It was like it, just a way better version of it. Everything was bigger. The burritos were bigger. The tacos were bigger. Everything was fresher. It was just, they were just way better. It was like the difference between Wendy's and White Castle. And so when you hear, well, one of them's closing, you just assume the bad one is. And so we assume, well, Taco Bell, because I never ate Taco Bell ever. I mean, I ate it once and I thought, never again. And it was always Zantigo. And then when Zantigo, what happened was, I think Pepsi owns Taco Bell.
Yeah.
They bought Zantigo so they could close them. And they bought them and they closed them down. And I didn't eat Taco Bell for 2 or 3 years. And that was the only Mexican restaurant, fast food Mexican restaurant. And reluctantly, I started to wean myself back into it. And it was, now I like it because it's all that I've had for 20 some years.
Yeah.
And the general public now, other than, I don't know if they had Zantigo here, but didn't have Zantigo, don't know what they were missing. And I always thought, man, why? I mean, obviously that business model worked, so why can't someone come out and do it? Because it's doable. I mean, to take Taco Bell's ideas and make them way better, and they just, no one has done it yet. And I think one thing is, I like Taco Bell too, love it, eat it all the time. I think they could put a little more stuff on the tacos. I think the tacos are a little skimpy. And I know you said like they're a buck and stuff. And I'm not talking about a crazy amount extra. I'm just talking about
a little
bit would be good, yeah.
Something.
See, I agree with that. They're like actual tacos. Now, see, when I go, I usually get one of the bundle boxes. So it's like, the nacho fries or the naked chicken chalupa or something like that. And then it comes with a 5-layer beefy burrito, no beans, because their refried beans are trash.
Who? McDonald's?
No.
I mean, McDonald's. I meant Taco Bell.
I do not like their refried beans.
Okay.
They're probably not real beans.
Thick paste. It's bad. And I don't really like beans to
All
begin with.
refried beans are paste. That's what they are.
But it's like.
But I don't
it's
need anything they didn't
thick.
get right the first time. I'm just kidding.
It's hard to get down. The only refried beans I like are from Reyes Teca because it's like soupy. Which people are like, ew, that's kind of gross, but that's the only way I can eat refried beans.
All right, well, go back to your train of thought.
And then, it'll come like bundle box, so nacho fries or naked chicken chalupa, 5-layer beef burrito, and then a taco. And the taco, first of all, the shell's soggy by the time I get it, but there's like this tiny thin layer of meat, and then it's like lettuce and cheese, and I'm like, okay, if I wanted a salad, like I would have went somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, give me the beef. You have a whole bag of it back there.
Yeah.
Like I know you do.
Why don't the $1 million question is, why isn't there one here? I mean,
They've tried for years. They tried for years to put in a Taco Bell next to what is now the Pizza Hut and Arby's.
Okay.
That's like catty corner from BK.
Yeah, I know right where it is. I frequent that building.
They have seriously tried for years. They're like, it's a college town. Well, everybody will do it. And they do their statistical analysis or whatever, and it's just not feasible.
I've signed 3 petitions for a Taco Bell.
Yeah, but then we got Reyes Teca, which is so much better.
But Reyes Teca
if you're going for authentic Mexican, listen,
Yeah.
And you're gonna go, that's a sit-down place. You don't go to Taco Bell. You don't go to Reyes Teca when you only got 20 minutes for lunch.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's like authentic Mexican food.
But you can get it takeout. You can get the special dinner, and it's $12, and it's like this big.
Yeah, but Reyes Teca is very Americanized. I mean, if you ever have. But for me, that's good.
Yeah.
I like Americanized food. But authentic, I think more authentic is like Chipotle. And I don't.
Chipotle is so overrated.
I don't like Chipotle because anytime I go somewhere, they go authentic this or authentic that. I'm like, I'm not gonna like it.
You're putting it on a white tortilla.
And well, people say it's. I like Americanized food, and it's not because I'm not cultured or I don't appreciate other cultures. It's because guess what? I grew up in America.
Exactly.
and so it's like it. I put that. People say that like it's a shameful thing, but all the great yummy food we have that comes from New Orleans was because of culture clashes, and I mean in the kitchen, so in a good way. So you've got all these different cultures of people in this one concentrated area, and the food starts to get mixed up together and very interesting and completely delicious. And I think America as a whole, when different cultures come to our country and we Americanize food, I like it. I'm okay with that. I mean, so. Anyway, I just said that because it bugs me when people go, "Oh, it's so American," like they're hoity-toity, like I'm cultured because I only eat authentic Italian food. We were watching a show one time, and the guy said, it was Anthony Bourdain. He was in Italy talking to one of the guys, and he said, "I'm assuming you make all your pasta fresh when you here, so it's all fresh." And he goes, "No, never." And he goes, "Oh, really?" He goes, "No, because you can't make it al dente if you make it fresh." And I thought, oh, he's right.
Yeah.
So, and I thought there's another myth destroyed. When I have authentic food, and a lot of things, some people that come from other countries come here, start eating the Americanized version of what they had too. So it's not a bad thing. I'm with you, is what I'm saying. I like Rey Azteca. It's got a lot of authentic flair in it though, for sure. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got on a soapbox.
No, that's completely fine. Another conspiracy, though, the one that actually got me very interested in this. So, like Shane Dawson, who is like canceled now, we don't really talk about him, but he did like a whole series about like different conspiracy theories, not just with food. And one of them, and other videos I've seen about Chuck E. Cheese.
The mouse that teaches gambling to kids.
Yes. Okay, literally.
The rat.
That's a whole other thing. But they reuse their pizza.
For real?
Now, come on. You can't get away with that.
Okay, so like I literally will pull up a photo. So I was like, I'm watching these videos.
How can you prove that? No, okay, so let me get this straight. So Timmy's birthday party's over.
Yeah.
There's like 18 pieces of pizza left on plates. So they take them back and they stick them on a plate. They go, give these to the next.
Literally, that's what they'll do. That is literally what they'll do. So
you would be shut down by the health department for that.
You order a check. Okay, Timmy had his birthday party, right? Okay, you order a piece of pizza, right? You get the pizza, and you're looking at the cuts, and you're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, the pizza itself does not fit together. Like, granted, some pizza places, they cut pieces like this, and then it's like that. But literally, like, the crust around it should make a circle. Granted, not a perfect circle, but there's like pieces sticking out. If you look at the lines, there's like, how do you cut this? I'm not even kidding. So there's like videos of like people going to Chuck E. Cheese, like ordering a pizza and like looking at it. And people have gotten so far into this, like trying to like figure out if they do reuse their pizza, that they're like using like calculations and like putting like math into it. But these guys, I think it was like a group of like 4 guys went to Chuck E. Cheese and got this pizza, and they literally came out, and you could tell that like it came from different pizzas, and that it wasn't.
Nasty.
They just wouldn't put the pizza in, but they would take it off of the table and go back and reuse it. And I completely believe that.
But here's the thing.
No.
Do you know anyone who has ever actually worked at Chuck E. Cheese?
No, I've been to Chuck E. Cheese one time, but that was when I was a baby.
So I think that's the thing. I mean, we can have.
I think that's a pretty tall accusation.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they would be shut down by the health department.
Look at that.
They would have to be shut down by the health department.
You don't know that I can take a picture of something and tell you it's something.
I've literally watched videos, like first person point of view. These people pull up to Chuck E. Cheese. And they get these pizzas that look like that.
Okay, listen.
That legitimately look like that.
Listen to me. There may be one Chuck E. Cheese somewhere where this happens like 3 days during 1 week, and one guy got a bunch of. I mean, I refuse to believe that. I can't see a board meeting on, guys, we're going to save some money. I got a plan for the company.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would be. I mean, the health department would swoop in on you like stormtroopers and shut you down for that kind of stuff. And it's like,
But it's also a Chuck E. Cheese.
You're like a really, really smart person. I'm surprised that you're going, look.
No, I'm serious. I believe it. I've seen a bunch of
cheating
videos.
us.
I believe it.
Jimmy,
I believe it.
Jimmy.
Why wouldn't they? Chuck E. Cheese is, first of all, weird to begin with. It teaches gambling to kids. I'm gonna believe it.
I'm the generation who grew up with Teddy Ruxpin, scarring me for life.
The creepy talking bear.
It's a bear.
Robot.
It's a robot bear with a cassette. Do you know what a cassette is?
I do know what a cassette is.
With a cassette in its back. And it tells you a story, and its eyes go like this, and it tells you a story.
I think it was probably the inspiration for Chucky.
I know, right?
Oh,
So,
yeah,
I'm
probably.
that generation where I don't go to a Chuck E. Cheese. I don't want a rat talking to me, getting near
and
me.
robots. Those robots are creepy too.
Yeah, like the
animatronic things.
rats that come out.
Yeah.
It's like the one scene. Have you guys ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Not the older version, not the good one, but like the new
creepy one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's like he like goes out and it's like the
They're
thing,
all
and he's like
mechanical.
sitting there and he's like whatever, and then it starts catching on fire, and then the little boy asks, "Well, why aren't you up there?" He's like, "Well, I wouldn't be able to see the show if I was sitting up there because this throne just like pops out." But that's what it reminds me of. All those animatronic things are just really weird. But yes, I will take it to the grave. Chuck E. Cheese reuses their pizza. I don't care what anybody says. I've done my own research.
Oh, I don't buy it. I'm still hung up
I'm
on
not gonna buy because it's reused.
the creepy robots.
Yeah.
What if one of them malfunctions? Hey, Jimmy, you like movies about guns?
It reminds me of that part.
I don't think smoking is bad.
that part in Shrek when they first get to Duloc and they play the little thing. It's like, comb your hairs, wash your face.
Do look. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Reminds
such
me of
a.
that.
Oh, there's so
Yeah.
you could do a whole podcast on Shrek. All the jokes in there. There's a lot of fun.
Shrek
Yeah.
is so good. Shrek is so good.
So Taco Bell reigns
Taco
supreme
Bell-
in your world.
Yes, Taco Bell
Jackie,
is
you were a
reigns
Taco Bell
supreme.
fan.
No, we never had Taco Bell growing up. I lived in the country.
So yeah, but now, I mean, do you like it now? Do you?
No.
No, not your thing.
I cook my own.
Jackie Brown.
Okay, well,
my own
see, here's where it comes back to. Here's where it comes back to. I know your own is better, but you don't go to Taco Bell because it's cuisine. You go there because it's Taco Bell.
It's 40 minutes to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
worth every second.
See, I would not drive. No matter how much I'm
No.
craving Taco Bell, there comes a part in my mind that's like, I would not drive 40 minutes for it.
If we
Now,
have
I'm
the
in
reason to go
area-
there to get something, yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Texas Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, Texas
I would
Roadhouse is
drive.
I
40
wouldn't drive
minutes
for
for.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse is totally worth the drive. It's one of the few restaurants that's good consistently.
We're getting one in Williamsport.
I heard
See,
Steve.
now
yeah.
that it's in Williamsport, but like I'm not gonna drive 40 minutes. Like it's good, like the butter, the bread, the food overall for Texas Roadhouse is really good. But I'm not. That's just it's a lot of food, and like I can consume a lot of food, but for me it's like I would.
I want to hear. I want to hear more of your conspiracy theories because I'm blown away by the gambling
Okay.
rat that you believe that they're doing that.
I'm telling you. Chuck
Okay.
E. Cheese, you reuse your pizza, and I'm on to you. Taco Bell.
We are not a representation. Anyway, go ahead. Taco Bell.
Don't sue me.
I know you love Taco Bell.
So yeah, Taco Bell, because I was like, other than like the tube, like the bagged meat, which I mean, I worked in like, not like fast food, but like at college, like our eggs came in a bag, which was in a 5-gallon bucket.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, well,
so
then they're
you have
already-
to, you have
yeah.
to
They're
be
already
kind
cracked,
of realistic here. But apparently, like circa 2014, there was this conspiracy theory rumor going around that Taco Bell used grade D beef.
Oh, jeez.
Well, maybe they do because it's like Jackie said. You're not really getting it for the beef flavor. You're getting it for a bunch of different flavors.
Grade D beef isn't even a thing.
Okay. Oh, I don't know that.
And so it was just like they talk about the beef in the bag, and so it was just like grade D beef, and there's like no such thing. And they're like, no, we don't use like 83. I think they came out with like a statement, and like numbers are like, no, like 83% of it is like legitimate beef, and then they have to add like the preservatives and different flavors and like all of that stuff. That they're like, it's not. They're like, it's not grade D beef. Like this is. You're getting real beef. Like, granted, you're not getting Wagyu steak. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're Taco Bell.
But you have to understand where people come from with some of these concerns because in the olden days, before our time, hot dogs were actually made with sawdust.
Very questionable stuff. Yeah.
Any kind of filler, rat meat. things
Ew.
like that, which is why hot dogs still have, you know,
bad
you
rap.
don't know
Yeah.
what's in a hot dog. It's everything but the oink, you know, whatever. But now we know that it's pure meat and it's regulated. But, you know, some people will still have that in the back of their head, like, oh, they could
Just
be
like
putting
I heard that
anything
they
in
put
there.
like legit Coke in Coke.
Yep. From the cocoa plant.
They're from the cocoa plant. Yeah, they used. Yeah, that's another whole. We could do a soft drinks one too because
There's
that's
a whole
that's
series on the History
it's
Channel.
phenomenal. I've seen every episode.
It's wonderful.
Every
It's called The
episode.
Food That Built America.
Okay. It is so well done.
It is, and it's about how all these people started, and
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
It's inspiring. It's interesting. It may just sound like a documentary where they go, here's how we make it. No. You need to check it out. Watch one. And
you'll
you'll want
be
to watch.
hooked.
You'll watch them all.
You'll be
You'll
absolutely
watch them all.
hooked.
It doesn't matter which one you
History
watch.
Channel?
On the History Channel. Yep. The food that made America, that built America.
yeah,
Or is that it?
The Food
So,
That Built America.
I have an interesting side note about McDonald's. I told my wife, I said, McDonald's, I get a craving for once in a while, but it's weird because when I eat McDonald's, it's not, when I eat other food, I eat it and then I get full. I go, oh, I'm full. But when I eat McDonald's, I don't get full. I just stop eating. I'm like, I eat and I go, why am I doing this?
So I'm going to go there.
So
Do you get the McCramps?
no.
The McCramps.
Okay, because
What?
there's the.
The green apple quick step, like
Yeah.
running to the bathroom. No, I don't.
That's why I don't eat McDonald's.
Oh.
Yes, I know some people have
I'm
a sense.
following now. I'm like, what?
But I used to make fun of my daughters for, we'd go on the way to church. They'd always want me to hit the drive-through, and my youngest wants this caramel frappe. So I'm like, frappe, latte, $4 for, I'd go on and on and on. And she goes, Dad, have you ever tried one of these? Just try it. Just try it.
Mm-hmm.
Just try it. I go, coffee is not something made to be cold. She goes, it's not coffee. I took a drink, and I took a drink through the straw, and I circled right back around the building and got right back in line. And I ordered myself one, and my daughter was watching me. She goes, "Do you like it?" And I said, I want to be dragged through an ocean of this behind a motorboat with my mouth open until my body swells up so big that the boat won't go any further. And she said, that's quite an endorsement, Dad.
I don't have a sound effect big enough for that.
No.
And I said, I'm going to have 5 of these every day. You know, like when you were a little kid, you think,
Yeah.
why don't grown-ups just eat candy all the time?
Yeah.
Right.
We have dentists. I mean, what's the big deal?
Yeah, I don't understand.
So when I had one of those, I'm like, this is the most important thing in my life going forward. But I have to say, I have to be truthful. I haven't got one since I moved here. And I see the commercials. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I hear like music from old love movies playing, soft music, The Way We Were,
Just
and
a little-
something like
little
that.
fog.
When I see the
The
frappe
beach.
on a picture, I'm like, I haven't left you. I'm here. And I
haven't forgotten about you,
haven't
babe.
forgotten about you, babe. But their ice cream machines are always broke.
Literally, I was
That-
seriously about to bring that up. Okay, first of all, why are they always broken?
Yep.
But I also have heard that sometimes they say it's broken when it's really not, just because they don't want to make them, and because the machine.
That's another conspiracy.
Well, yeah.
I think a manager would come out and put the smackdown on someone
You
for
would
doing
think,
that.
but also like managers don't care either.
Well,
Like,
go ahead.
let's be real.
Go ahead.
So it's the machine is it's broken, but they don't want to do it. Also, I can believe that. The lazy side of me is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to make you a flurry right now, but also the machine is actually kind of complicated to take apart and like clean. Like, it's like annoying. So I can understand. I mean, most McDonald's are open 24/7, but there's the occasional rural few that are only open till like 10 or 11. So 10:30 comes around, I'm trying to close, and you want to get 5 McFlurries. Sorry, the machine is broken. I can't get that for you. Oh, your machine's always working. Stop coming 30 minutes before close, and maybe I can get you.
I can never. Listen, I cannot imagine those people working there being insulted and complained to and talked down to all day by people, and I always try to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm always polite, even when something is wrong. If I have to go back, I'm always, because I just think, man, I can't imagine being here and having people come in and belittle you. Yeah. Can't you make a cheeseburger right? Is it that hard? And you're like, you're shrinking, and you're like, I don't make that much money. I don't. And they just people feel like they have the right to abuse you if you're in a job that they deem as lower than them. And when I see these people in restaurants, I'm like, I give them mucho respect because I think to myself, man, you're doing something.
You're doing the Lord's work.
I mean, it's a noble profession, and
we've all done it.
Yeah, I never have, but I've done. Well, no, but
anyway,
hang on a second. I mean, I've done things way harder for way less.
Yeah.
I didn't mean I'm above fast food. I just meant I haven't been one of the. But it's funny you said that because. This was like 20 years ago. I heard a poll, and it said 1 in 10 Americans had their first job at a McDonald's.
See, I didn't work at a McDonald's.
I didn't work at a McDonald's, but that was about 20 years ago.
Did. Mike worked at McDonald's. He worked at KFC.
My daughter's first job, my oldest daughter, was at McDonald's.
I think my first job, other than like babysitting, like legitimate, like I had to like do taxes, was a daycare.
Yeah.
But out at college, I worked in fast food. But see, that environment is so different. Like, I went to a Christian school, so, like, everybody, like, has to be nice to you. I mean, occasionally I would get, like, the Karen that would come in, and, like, she would try to pay with a $100 bill, and I'm like, lady, I only have change for $100 in my drawer. And, you know, this one time I had this pregnant lady. She straight up asked me, she's like, is the chicken spicy? I said, yes. And she's like, okay. And she's like, I only want kind of, like, a little bit of it. I said, that's fine. She's like, sour cream. So she eats it, comes back, and she's like, this is so hot. I said, ma'am, I told you it was spicy. She's like, I need more sour cream. And I'm like, okay. But then everybody else just comes to me like, you know, like legitimately like fake nice. I mean, there are nice people, but you know, you're not going to come through and you're not, you know, like I accidentally messed up your sandwich and I'm like, well, you need to make me a new one. Oh, like, oh, it's okay. Like, that's all right. You know, kind of thing. Whereas you go to McDonald's and work and I mess up. I put cheese on your burger when you didn't want it. Like, you're going to call me every name in the book and read me out and, you know, wish I was
talk
dead
down
kind
to you
of
like you're, and that's why I'm like, man, I wouldn't want to be in their position, and even if they make a mistake with my stuff, I'll overlook it unless it's something unless they give me something that I just can't eat.
Yeah.
Or if I bought a bunch of stuff and they forgot like the main thing or something like that, you know, then I'll go back. But if they just put extra pickles when I said no pickles, you know, that can slide. I can see how that can. Yeah. But so okay.
No, I get that for sure.
So. All right, so who have we covered? Who you got notes? You got this is serious.
Yeah,
so I'll let you lead. What's next?
I was also another conspiracy. Not really. Like, this is just an incident that happened. But Steak and Shake. How do we feel about that? What are our thoughts? What's the vibe with Steak and Shake?
I love Steak and Shake, but they take too long and their burgers are too small.
For what? First of all portions at Steak and Shakers are
too small. Even the triple burgers are too small.
Yeah, takes forever. And by the time you get your stuff, it's cold anyway.
No, that's not true.
Steak and Shake that I went to, went multiple times. I'm only basing this off of my experience, and the only one that I went to, because it was the only one around college. Yeah, took years, and then I got my stuff, and like my fries were always cold.
I smell a conspiracy coming though. Where's this leading?
Anyway, so somewhere in the Midwest area, there was a rat found in somebody's shake.
So listen to your presentation. Somewhere in the Midwest, once upon a time.
This is what I was told, because this is hearsay at this point. But
I know that.
So I was told that the one next to my college was the one that had a rat. But then I also heard from my roommate my senior year, the Steak and Shake in Michigan City, Indiana, that's the one that found a rat, and then they ended up getting, like, shut down.
But did they find a rat, or was there a rat? You know what I mean? Was someone a rat, and we had to take care of them?
The animal. We're talking about the animal. But it was, like, in the shake, like, it was, like, in the cups. Like, the cups were in the back, and then they go to make a shake. And then I'm going to assume, because this is the most gross one, but that they ate the shake and then found at the bottom the rat. But then they got shut down.
You hear those. Go ahead.
Imagine there was a dead animal in your cup. How much more would that weigh?
Not only that, they have to put the drink in the cup. How do you put that in and go, what's that? Oh, probably
And
nothing.
shove a straw in it.
Yeah, and then they couldn't fit. See, that's what I mean.
Where's the straw
You gotta be
going
paying
in?
attention.
It's rumors.
I mean,
Remember the lady with the finger and a chili, the Wendy's?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think I heard about that.
Oh yeah, a friend of theirs cut the tip of his finger off by accident. She put it in the freezer and later put it in her Wendy's chili and tried to claim lawsuit and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't know. You hear about this stuff and it's just like, usually they find out it's nonsense or it's bogus, and there are so many stories. And I tell you what's more upsetting is the people who deliberately do things to people's food that there's videos of.
Yeah, that's nasty.
That's I think that is, I think food is sacred, and I think messing with someone's food. I mean, I'm so particular about food. I won't even hand someone a bag of potato chips at my house unless I wash my hands. And when I cook, I constantly wash my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly, I make sure it's the last thing I do. But I mean, I'm really, really particular about cleanliness and food to a fault. And when I think about somebody doing something I don't care how mad I was, or even before I was right with God, even when I was at my most depraved, I would never mess with someone's food. I think it is the most cowardly, dirty, wrong thing you can do to another person is something like that. And when I see those videos, I'm like, I mean, I don't want to sound like an extremist, but I'm like, you need to go to jail for that. And
It's gross.
I've gotten somebody fired for that.
yeah. Well,
What?
you have? Yeah.
Spill the tea, sis.
Well, I was on my
Dish.
I was on my
tea.
internship, and because I went to culinary school,
yeah.
so I had to do my internship at a very fancy resort that I'm not going to name. And I was in the pastry department, and another student my age, so I was 20 at the time, kept putting his hands in his pants and adjusting it.
Oh, nice.
Cute.
And
That's
then,
cute.
And then going back to work
Oh, Lord.
without like washing his hands.
Dude, he would have got a backhand
You know,
or a knife.
So, yeah, I pulled the executive chef in on that
I
one,
would think so, yeah.
Yikes.
and he got fired and walked out.
Good.
It's
That's
like,
nasty.
We are not touching any food in this place until this boy is gone, and
If
we
you're
are
watching now-
sanitizing
Just
every
kidding.
service.
Every
surface.
See, I remember my my one mom's friend used to work
Your
at
one mom's?
I do have two moms.
Oh, I was gonna say.
My mother
4 or
and I
5
do
of them.
call her my mom. But they worked at Pizza Hut, and I remember hearing one time about he was like all mad at this one guy, and he ordered pizza, and he like spit in his food and like gave it to him. I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what you have to be on to like do that, and second of all, you better try Jesus, because don't try me, because I will fight you
That's
if
right.
I ever hear that you're doing something to my food.
I know. It's also it's so cowardly. I mean, it's on top of being disgusting. I mean, I guess because being a guy who used to be a redneck, I guess I'm from the school of thought.
Used to be.
Used to be a
redneck.
redneck.
If I got
how do you get
beef-
out of that?
if
That's
I-
like
you
some
live
gang
here.
stuff. I feel like
If I got a beef with somebody, the old me, I would go say, I got to talk to you right now, and it's not going to wait. And we got something we got fixed, and that's how things would get handled. I don't do that now, but to do some sneaky thing like, ooh, I'm gonna do a punk move and spit in your food. That just it just screams coward. What do you mean? How do you get out of? I'm not a red.
You
What are you talking about?
live in a town where someone has gone and pooped on someone's yard
Yeah.
because they didn't like what he said about something. He said, "Oh, I'll get you." And he pooped on his. I'm not gonna say who. You all know who it is. Pooped on his yard.
What are you talking
I
about?
actually
I'm
don't
completely
know.
in the weeds.
Drop
What are
the
you talking
name,
about?
sis.
No,
You
I
wouldn't-
can't.
No. Where? You mean here?
Yeah.
I'm not from. Well, I'm not from here, so I don't know that.
Well, you live here now,
But I haven't heard that story.
but you're indoctrinated into Clinton County.
I haven't heard that story, Jackie.
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing.
No.
There's going to be a few questions after this podcast.
Okay.
So, yeah, but, so you don't. Yeah, you do. You get out of it because when I say redneck, I don't mean. Oh boy, not the type of person that starts trouble.
Oh,
Just
okay.
the type of person that reacts very quickly if
He's
there's
not
a sign
growing a
of
mullet anytime
Yeah,
soon.
no.
I'm voting. Okay, no, I'm voting for long hair Drew, but that's
That's
another-
funny. My wife said something about that just yesterday. We were, when the TV's turned down and your spouse, you're watching TV, and you're having a quiet conversation about a subject you don't expect to come up, and somehow I blurted out, I don't recognize me. I don't recognize me now. I still don't recognize me because I don't know who I am anymore. And I have to put this in context. We were talking about hair.
Yeah.
Only hair.
Yeah.
And I said, when I cut my hair off, I never got used to it. And it's been short for I don't know how many years now. And she said, grow it back. And I said, I look like I'm having a midlife crisis. I go, a guy my age can't grow his hair back. And I used you. I go. Even Jackie agrees. I said, I'll look like that guy. You know. I said, old fat guys don't look good with long hair. When I was young and skinny, was one thing. She goes, so what? If you don't like it, you can cut it again. Let it grow. I go, I'm not going through that 4-year stage of weirdness where it don't look right. And I go, believe it or not, and the profession I'm in, you do have to look a certain way. And I said, if people see me thinking I'm having a midlife crisis, I'm going to be in trouble. And she said, I'm just saying, if you quit complaining about it or let it grow.
Grace, just full send it.
Nope.
She said they would understand. All these people at our church know you. They know what kind of person you are. I said,
You
right.
don't want to look like that guy in the van outside of a playground.
I don't want to be on the news as a person of interest. Right.
Your picture just comes up.
So.
Honestly, going back to like the messing with food and just being gross, like I think I would rather take like grade D beef or like
that doesn't
pink
exist.
slime chicken nugget over and like super genetically modified whatever insert than having someone mess with my food and putting like bodily fluids or something like that in it.
Yeah, there should be, and there's things that I'm not even going to talk about that we've all heard that are too gross that people do, and I think you should go to jail for that because. I mean, man, it's wrong on so many levels. But anyway.
I have a question about a fast food restaurant that I've never heard anything bad about and I've worked at. Subway.
I like Subway.
I like Subway. I don't really have anything.
I was going to say.
You don't have any dirt.
No,
Don't
you
have
don't really
any
have any dirt
Subway,
on anyone
I don't have
because
any dirt on you.
got-
I mean, there was the issue with the it was either the seafood sub or the tuna sub, and it wasn't real fish for a while.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
See,
but
I
other
didn't
than
hear
that,
anything. Yeah, no. I mean, like Subway, it's like cool. Like I don't eat it a lot. Like I know for church, like different things. Like we'll get Subway. Sometimes you just crave a good sub sandwich.
sub.
I mean, I worked at kind of like a Subway-esque type thing out at school, and even that, like I would just get a sub. Like I don't have any issues with it. Although I did have one In-N-Out.
In-N-Out burger.
Is it actually that good?
I've never had it.
I've never had it either.
And what I've heard is you've got to be stoned to really appreciate
To really
it.
enjoy it. Okay, well, it looks like that's not going to be happening for me.
Yeah.
Which is completely fine.
Grace Fellowship Church, 19 Avis Road.
No, but like, well, the only time I could have experienced In-N-Out, so it would have been 2 years ago. I went out to Vegas for Christmas with Taylor's family to go see his brother and Taylor's niece and whatnot. And so like we're traveling on Christmas, and it's just like weird because I've never been to Vegas. Not used to warm weather on Christmas. There's also like really like Vegas is weird because you're just driving and then it's like boom Vegas and then it's like nothing, like nothing.
Right.
And so we had to drive to California and we're like, oh, we should get In-N-Out. It's like, oh, it's Christmas, like nobody is open. And then we just didn't have enough time on the rest of our trip. But I know everyone's like, In-N-Out is so great. Like, oh my goodness.
Is that
and
just
I'm like,
a West Coast thing? I don't even know.
It is. It's just a West Coast thing.
Del Taco and Jack in the Box.
Yo, okay, Del Taco. Where did I have Del Taco? I was traveling out to Arizona with Taylor, and I got Del Taco thinking like, oh, like I really like Taco Bell. Maybe I'll like Del Taco. And it wasn't too bad. I got a burrito with fries in it. I hossed a bunch of food though. It was like, okay, probably wouldn't get it again. Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box went out of business.
Did they?
Didn't they?
I don't know. I never
I
ate
thought
there.
they went out of business and like some kid got salmonella or something.
I
You
don't.
haven't said-
When does this happen? Do you know, like, what? Because the only reason I say that is because Taylor and I's honeymoon last November, I went to Jack in the Box.
Wow.
Jack in the Box isn't here, and we're running out of time. So let's bring up one of the big guns that no one brought up yet is Burger King.
Burger King's just like, it's okay, like I'll eat it, but it's just trash. Like Burger King is like,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Burger. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like,
Ouch.
I don't know. Like I will eat Burger King, and I did when Liberty opened, and it was like here.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna go get Burger King, but their nuggets trash. Their chicken
no.
fries
I won't eat the
are
nuggets.
kind of okay. I will get a Whopper. Like, I'll get it if I have to. Like, if I'm hungry and I need to be like at youth group, but I'm not gonna seek out Burger King.
What about Wendy's?
Dude, Wendy, top tier. I love Wendy's. So good. Fries, burgers, Frosties. Their chicken. Their chicken sandwiches are really good.
No conspiracy theories?
No conspiracy theories with Wendy's. I do like this. I do like a square patty.
Yeah.
I do like a square patty. But yeah, Burger King, no.
Right.
Just not good.
Okay.
Have you tried the not meat burger?
Oh, the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah,
No,
I have.
I haven't.
I got an
what
interesting
do you think?
some trivia about Wendy's. I was,
Trivia?
Trivia about Wendy's?
Not trivia. I was, Wendy's was started in Columbus, Ohio. Mm-hmm. I worked for this company once that did high-end remodeling, and I was what's called a project manager. I was in charge of doing Wendy's kitchen at her house.
Oh, the Wendy.
Wendy. And
Is she actually a redhead?
Yeah, but not like, and her last name, her last name's not Thomas. I know her last name, but I'm not going to, there's no reason to say it on this.
Yeah.
And we were doing that job the week she lost her dad.
Aww.
And so things went a little crazy. She had to leave and, so it was weird. Yeah, but Wendy's, like their corporation, their lawyers, some of the lawyers for Wendy's a buddy of mine did remodeling work in their house. And so there's a lot of, the original Wendy's, the very first one, is downtown. Well, I think it's gone now. I think just in the past few years it's gone. But Wendy's is a staple in Columbus, obviously. So it's because that's where it was. But have you guys had, I know we got to hurry, but have you had Skyline chili?
Oh, I've heard of it. When
It's based out of Cincinnati.
Thing? Okay, I figured it was a Midwest thing because when I would drive out to Indiana and we would go to different places, I would see Skyline chili.
It's its own thing. It's totally its own thing. I posted pictures of it because when we went back home, it's funny. My wife and I we always talk about how what we miss about home is food.
Yeah.
Because Central Ohio, Columbus, is full of culinary schools and arts and restaurants, and it's so Cameron Mitchell restaurant. There's food everywhere. I mean, constant food as far as the eye can see. It's highly competitive. So almost everything's really good. And I said, well, when we go back home, we start talking about all the places we're going to go. I ate at Skyline. That was my priority. Like when I got to Skyline Chili, which is from Cincinnati, and it's not like any because it's not what you would think of when you think of chili.
Yeah,
it comes like on spaghetti with beans and The chili dogs are small. They're about as big around my thumb. They're only that long, and on a bun, and they're full of this sauce, which has cinnamon and some chocolate in it, and it's got, which sounds gross. I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud, but it's very faint. And until you taste it, like it sounds like that doesn't sound good, but when you eat it, you're like, why is not every restaurant in the world making this? And they're called Skyliners. They're the opposite of a foot long. They're only that big. So the very
that's cute.
Yeah, but the cheese is piled really high. It's fluffy on them. It's like that high, and it's on everything. They give you bibs when you go into the restaurant to eat.
Oh, that's great.
And so. Yeah, and I think it's only in Ohio. It started in Cincinnati, and the very first time I ever went there was late at night. I wasn't bar hopping. It's because we played. My band played, and it was late. So I and I said, "What are those? What is this place?" And the guy said, "You're going to love this. You're going to love this." And I see these hot dogs, but all I can see is the dog itself because they're cooking them. And I go, "Those are tiny." I go, I'm starving, bro.
Yeah.
And he goes, just get 2 or 3 of them. I go, 2 or 3. And a dude come up and he goes, how many you want? I go, give me 7. I want 7 of those things.
Oh,
and
no.
then we brought them out on the plate, and they're in the bun, and they got the cheese piled. They're as big as my fist with cheese piled up. I'm like, oh, this is not what I was expecting at all. So
this is what he told me to get to.
Yeah, I ate like 3, and I was like, oh. I'm good. And he said, I told you, dude, not to get 7. And so, but anyway, the spaghetti comes in 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, which means beans and onions, I think, is a 3-way. And then they get extra things, and they mix it in the spaghetti sauce or chili with spaghetti and the cheese all over the top, and it melts down in it. And it's a party in your mouth. I'm telling you, they need to have them here.
What's your go-to Skyline order?
3 Skyliners and some oyster crackers with a large root beer. And sometimes I'll get 3 Skyliners and a small 5-way, which is a small is small.
Yeah.
And I'll get a small 5-way and large root beer, and I'm set. I'm good. And I get
Nice.
everything Skyline. So that's the mustard, the onions, the sauce, and the cheese comes on.
Got you. What's your favorite fast food restaurant? Do you have one?
I don't know that I even have one, but
She's a healthy eater.
I'm not. No.
Well, you
I
know,
got
you know what I
body
mean.
by bacon. I'm not. I am not a healthy eater. I am svelte with bacon. No, but I do love Wendy's. And
I do too. I love Wendy's.
Go to Wendy's order?
See, Wendy's and Sky. I'm sorry, they're not the same thing. I'm with you. I'm with
yeah, no, I just want the square patty.
Yeah.
No onions.
Ooh.
Because I don't like onions.
Oh,
I don't
that's
like
okay.
raw onions.
I couldn't bite into an onion like an apple, but I do appreciate a raw onion though.
Yeah, no, and the nice thick Wendy's fries, but I don't dip them in the Frosty because I'm not into that.
Fair enough. I respect you.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
We can still talk.
If I would have said it, she'd thrown her shoe at me.
No, I haven't tried it. They've just come out with breakfast.
Yeah, Wendy's.
Places always try that for a while, and then they stop. And
Yeah.
I haven't.
Taco Bell came out with breakfast burritos a long time ago, and I'm like, this is awesome.
No,
and
no.
I like them. I love
Yeah,
them.
Taco Bell breakfast is good. I'm never there early enough, to get breakfast, but Taco Bell is my favorite. So yeah, like I said, I usually get the. If I don't get one of the boxes, I will get a Crunchwrap Supreme, just the Crunchwrap Supreme, and then I'll get a steak quesarito, and then usually
I love how she knows what all these names are,
Yes,
and I'm just
steak
like, it's the
quesarito.
thing with the
I
cheese.
know.
And then they brought potatoes back, which I am thrilled about. So I will get 2 spicy potato soft tacos, and then a Sierra Mist because they don't have Sprite, which kind of makes me a little bit mad. And then I don't get any more of their sauces because I have a bag that sits in my car of just Taco Bell sauce, but I just Diablo sauce everything until my mouth is on fire. I mean, I feel it like,
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah.
like,
See, I
light
can't do.
me up.
I don't want to do that. I don't want something to be so spicy that I can't taste the flavor
I
anymore.
can't.
See, I can taste the flavor. So the thing is, the Diablo sauce, it kind of like after a while it starts to. So I'll like hit it Diablo like first bat, and then I'll go to like maybe like a fire or a mild. But yeah,
I don't do anything spicy or hot. Nothing.
What? Oh.
Nothing. And I know it is the people who enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
And
good
it's
for
just-
you.
it's not
I
for me.
love spicy. Spicy is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my go-to Taco Bell. Even if they have grade D beef and meat comes in a bag, I'll still love you forever. Not Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, these companies have a responsibility. I mean, they're like they have to buy cheap products and figure out a way to make them taste awesome. So their task is not a simple one. So when you say, like you said, you understand about the eggs coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to.
They got to cut corners somewhere to make money, and that food, the Ray Kroc story.
Yeah.
he reappears in that a lot in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
series. And did you ever watch the movie with Michael Keaton about him?
I know what it is, but I haven't
I
seen
can't
it.
remember.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
really, really good, and it's consistent with.
He
what
was
we
a
saw.
jerk, man.
Yeah, Ray Kroc, the
guy
founder of
who-
McDonald's.
Who
Okay.
bought out McDonald's from the 2 guys who actually invented
Yeah.
McDonald's.
You really need to watch that. We could. Yeah,
in this
it's good.
in this
So
series,
good.
they've got like poor man's John Cena playing Ray Kroc. He looks just like dollar store John Cena.
I don't know who that is.
John,
You know who John Cena is?
John Cena's a wrestler.
What?
No, I don't.
Drew.
I don't watch wrestling.
You don't even have to though.
You would, you would. As soon as you see this guy, you go, "Oh, that guy."
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
WWE, Monday Night Raw.
him playing Ray Kroc.
I don't watch wrestling. Yeah, I move the cushions around the living room. My wife gets home. I go, film me. I'm going to do some moves. There's John Cena. I don't know who these people.
There was like high school.
I grew up with Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and all that
yeah.
stuff.
Triple H.
Yep.
Who's the one that goes woo? Is that?
Woo! That's I don't know.
Well, Stone Cold
Randy
Steve
Savage.
Austin's the one who just with the beer and he drinks it.
Yeah.
That's my dad's
Oh,
favorite.
that's
The
Steve
bald white
Austin.
guy, like the
That's
Jack Mr. Clean.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
The
dad's
Rock.
favorite.
We have to close down
Yes.
now. We've been. I can't.
We went
It seems like we've been
everywhere.
talking a few minutes, but we've been rambling, as my mother would say.
Oh.
So this has been awesome. You're so much fun all the time.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude.
I can't wait
Absolutely.
I love this. This stuff is fun.
It is fun. What are your parting thoughts? This was your idea. This was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Parting
we went down a
thoughts.
lot of roads.
I'm not one of those people who will hear something crazy about fast food and then just like not eat it if the fast food is good. If if it's good. So like I don't care what anybody says about Taco Bell.
If they do unsafe health practices,
Yeah.
Like,
as long as it's
I'm
yummy,
sorry.
I'm okay with it.
My heart is set on Chuck E. Cheese. You're not gonna
You've got
sway
them in
me.
your crosshairs. Okay.
I do. I just think it's fun and entertaining. Whether half of these things are true or if they're not, I just think it's funny. And just to like speculate, to be like, a lot of people eat this stuff. And even if these things come out, like, it doesn't matter what, like I said, doesn't matter what Taco Bell comes out with, I'm still going to eat it. I mean, unless it's something like crazy, like they're grinding up kids and feeding other people. Then
unless
it's like,
they're
okay.
shutting the place
Yeah, if
down.
they're shutting it down,
Right.
all right, I understand that. But it's like, oh, pink slime chicken nuggets, I don't care, it's good.
Like
I'll just I'll just cover it in ranch.
Like
and
when they
everything will
shut
be
down
fine.
Chi-Chi's and everyone was like, oh my gosh, they shut down Chi-Chi's. And now everybody's like, what was Chi-Chi's?
Yeah, I don't. What was Chi-Chi's?
Chi-Chi's was phenomenal in Columbus. I don't know what it was here, but
It was like,
Mexican restaurant.
Oh, okay. I figured it was kind of like that.
yeah.
It's kind of like
But-
a very commercialized Azteca.
It was like
gotcha.
a Mexican Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good
No,
way to
I'm
describe
following.
it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's always fun to look into stuff and just
So
be
your
like,
parting thoughts are bad practices are okay as long as the food's yummy. You get a
yeah.
pass.
So if the food's good, just ignore what's going on in the back.
Right. Even if Taco Bell's like, well, we use this meat that comes from deboned puppies. So and then I would be like, well, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that because I heard that the workers who debone the puppies are treated very badly.
Yeah.
And so
Child
no,
labor,
I'm just kidding.
puppy deboning.
So,
Nobody
got time for that.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody
but
deboned puppies.
no,
that took a turn.
I know that you're
Grace Fellowship Church. P.O. Box.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, Grace.
Send
my
your
God.
complaints.
No, not me. Not me.
I'll take them.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Dyneshia.
Email in the description box below.
D.Y.
Gambling rat.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, that's,
Anyway, if it's good,
that's all I
eat
got.
it.
Thank you, Dyneshia. I can't wait to have
you.
you back on again. You're always a blast. And we're out.
Where